Hey guys, today I was talking with my dad about something I haven't thinking about in a while. Um, a couple weeks ago, I saw a guy talking about ego death. I don't know if you know about that or have heard about it. Um, I've been seeing a couple videos explaining what it was, and I've been thinking about it lately, and I base myself in biology and the Bible. I use both because they go quite hand in hand. They are not that different. In fact, in this case, both say the same thing, just in a different way. Uh, I've been thinking, ego. What do you think when you hear the word ego? And I, I, I've been feeling that society has been using the word ego incorrectly because one thing is proud and you know all the other things being egocentric, etc., etc., and the other thing is the ego. What does biology say about ego? Well, the definition is the ego is something that is created when you're a baby. It's you. I mean, um, it's you. And this guy in the video, he said something that struck me. He said, try to predict what your next thought will be. And I've tried. I tried it. I tried to predict my next thought, and I couldn't. I can't do it. I mean, try to predict what you will think about next. You can't. And the moment you begin to try to predict what will you think about, you don't think. You just don't think about anything because you're trying to do um, something that you can't predict. I mean, you can't predict what your next thought will be. You just make it. You make the thought and then you feel it. Think about, I don't know, think about anything. Think about what will you do tomorrow? What will you eat today? Think about that. And the moment you think about something, you feel like you are making that thought. You are the author of your own thoughts. So you are a consciousness that experiences its own thoughts. I mean, you are not what you think you are. You are a consciousness that feels, hears, sees, and pretty much experiences. You are. You simply are. And whatever you think about yourself is a thought because just as the word says, you're thinking about something. And if you think about yourself in a way, your identity is based upon thoughts, and some of them, or even most of them in some cases, are not yours. Are They are thoughts made from other consciousness that experience you. Someone, another consciousness, experiences you, and then thinks about it. That consciousness experiences another consciousness and then makes a thought about it. And then that thought is expressed, and therefore that other consciousness feels the thought, hears it, and then experiences it. For example, if someone doesn't like you, if you go to that person, right? You're a consciousness. You feel, hear, see everything. And you do things. Now, that other consciousness who does the same, who also experiences the world just like you, experiences you because you are a part of the environment for that consciousness. And then that consciousness makes a thought about it. It thinks, this person is X thing. Maybe I don't like that this person is too loud, for example, right? It's experiencing the sound of your voice and then making a thought about it. And it's thinking about that because it had to hurt you first, right? If that consciousness hadn't heard you before, it would never have thought about it, right? It had to experience you first to then think about it to make that thought. So my point is, your identity, what you think it makes you, is that you think about what makes me myself. And then you think and say, for example, I am kind, or I am sometimes mean, right? And a lot of other things, maybe some bad, some good, mostly bad sometimes, because sometimes you think bad about yourself, and sometimes good because sometimes you think good about yourself. You don't have not much negative comments, and that's how you build your identity. You are a consciousness. Your ego is not your identity, it's you. And the Bible calls this the soul. And for the non-religious people who maybe someone like it, I expect that, and it's okay. Not all of us agree with each other, and it's respectable, of course. But the Bible calls this the soul. Biology calls it ego. But think about both. What is the soul? The body is the flesh, right? The soul is what lives inside that flesh, right? So, the flesh, the body, is a recipient, a vessel, and the soul is the purest form of you. Therefore, your soul is what feels, what experiences, what is outside your flesh. Experiences the flesh itself, what the flesh feels, what the flesh desires, right? And experiences life, the rest, what is outside of it. People, noises, tastes, experiences, smells, sights, everything. It sees, it hears, right? And it's so amazing. Like both are the same, just explained differently. So it um, led me to a conclusion. For some of you who think bad about yourself, think about it, right? That's what you do. You think and then do. You think and then act, right? But experience your thoughts, feel your thoughts, see them, see your thoughts. What are you thinking about when you talk about yourself? When you have to say something about yourself, whether good or bad, see that thought, experience that thought, because we're so used to it, because that's what we do since we start to exist, that we are not aware of that. But be aware of what you think. Maybe that will make you aware that you make your own thoughts and you are the very author of what your identity is. So, if you think you suck, if you think you're trash, whatever, see that thought. See what you think and see how it becomes part of the immense ball of thoughts, the great cumul of thoughts that make your identity, because that's what your identity is, a ball of thoughts bundled together into a tight ball. You're the ego that gets inside that ball and experiences those thoughts. But see them. Go outside of that ball, which is your identity, that bundle of thoughts, and stand in front of it. See that ball of thoughts that make your identity, and realize you can change that. You can change the very way you are, because you're not what you think you are or what you say you are. You simply are. You simply exist and experience, right? You experience everything, even your own thoughts, right? You are not what you think. You are what thinks. That's my point. You're what thinks, not what you think. You can think of yourself as whatever you like, whatever you want to think of yourself as, you will do so. No one will stop you. That bundle of thoughts that are your identity are as easily changeable as basically everything else. It's finite. You choose how long you can keep that ball of thoughts or change them and make something new, right? That's why people change all the time, because identity is just but a ball of thoughts knit together by the consciousness that experiences the world, which is you, the ego, and the soul. Both are the same. So, write below in the comments what you think.